It's still pretty funny though, considering like China literally years ago had that one child policy because the government was literally telling them, "Y'all are fucking too much." Can you imagine
Who
how
would have
bad?
thunk it?
Like, can you imagine how bad your population problem has to be for the country, like the government itself, to tell you to stop fucking? Like, do you like that is some crazy shit. Like,
They should
historically
not be
speaking,
involved in like our personal lives on any like
But-
matter of that something like that. But when they have to like bring up like, yes, stop having sex.
like, and this was like a government mandated thing because we all know how China's like. Even back then, they were still, everyone knows how totalitarian they are. It's just gotten even worse over the years.
Yeah.
But it's like, that in and of itself, though, like just contextually speaking, there's just something so fucking hilarious about a country literally telling you to stop fucking.
Yeah.
Because there's just too many of you fucks out there. Like, just stop.
Look, I think it's even better when like a government tells you to fuck more.
We'll pay you to fuck more.
Yeah,
Here's some money.
Like here's like legal prostitution par for the Japanese government. And let me tell you something. I think there's a pretty clear I think there is a pretty clear reason why neighboring countries such as China and Japan, how one country needs a government to tell them to stop fucking because of overpopulation. And the other one literally needs to tell you, hey, fuck more. There are some hot-ass fucking Japanese people here. I know you're Japanese too, but, try to fetishize it for just a little while. Here's why. Anime. Where is it more prominent?
Than anywhere but Japan.
Yes. And who has less sex, statistically, than almost any other country on the planet? Japan.
Wait, has less?
Yes, dude. Like, I wasn't exaggerating.
Yeah.
Japan has a
yeah.
literal fucking breeding problem. Like,
Yeah.
they're like
Or
young
lack
people
of.
are exactly. Young people are
Yeah.
not. They're like not hooking up at like alarming rates over there. It's like, bro.
It's the work culture, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that is a
There's,
big part of it.
There's so many like factors that go into it, but like literally East Asian work culture. Like, I know a lot of people think that work culture in the West, like let's say, take for example, the United States, is pretty bad, and it is pretty bad. We're like trying to like kind of fix that a little bit, since like with this new shit with Amazon and all these other companies. But like for Japan, it's kind of like, if y'all think Western corporate culture is corporate slavery, virtually going to East Asia and seeing the corporate culture there, it's almost like, y'all thought that was y'all thought that was slavery? Like, that's serfdom compared to here. Because, like, I mean, because one tactic that at least East Asian work culture does is like shaming you. They like would publicly shame you, like for even taking vacations and shit. Like, it's ridiculous.
There's some movie, I don't remember what it's called. It might have been Michael Keaton or just some other like non-famous actor. Oh, fuck, I just realized I turned Discord notifications off. I forget what it was, but it was like some like merger between like it's a movie about a merger between an American car company and a Japanese one, and like all like the Japanese workers and stuff and their families moved to America, and like the movie is sort of about like the difference of work culture between those two countries, because like they make a deal with like the guy who's in charge of the company, and they're asking for like a ridiculous amount of cars like completed by the end of like the quarter, like something like like 300,000 plus like models out by like the end of like the year or some shit like that, some crazy unrealistic number. And it's because like their work culture actually achieves that kind of stuff, because those people don't fucking take breaks or do anything or sleep or nothing like that. And the movie is about like that sort of clash between Western and Eastern work culture. As far as that goes, and to the point where some of the Japanese people had to deal with racism on like when they moved to the shore and stuff. It's about that, and as well as the fact that they're not hooking up and listen, I did say anime, but
it's not exactly wrong though.
I pretty much mean like hentai, because Japan is a pretty sexually repressed culture. That's another thing, like a lot of like there's.
Well, they kind of are and they kind of aren't. Like, the shit's in your face all the time, but like the thing is though, like as you said, like the guys our age in Japan aren't exactly like always like going out to the clubs or even socializing in that respect. Like, the whole shut-in culture is also kind of big over there. Like, just it's usually guys, but some girls are a part of it too. Like, where it's just a bunch of people that just don't want to go outside.
Yeah,
like they don't socialize. They're like there's being introverted and then there's being a shut-in.
Yeah, there's
like
the difference between like, being a huge like anime fan and being like anime like tryhard and being an actual otaku. That's a whole different thing. Like people who literally like, shun out women from their actual life and like live in this fucking like warped delusional fantasy world where, women are greatly over sexualized in like these pieces of media and whatnot. There's even been like work like little like videos and like stuff made about it. Like there's this one gross video I think I saw like years ago in which like there was a bunch of like really over exaggerated like gross images to look at when it came to like over exaggerated like hentai and whatnot. And the whole thing was actually a what am I trying to say here? Like a sort of like protest piece, or that's not the right word I'm looking. I'm so fucking off today. God, it was like some sort of
it's all right.
Protest piece or whatever, or like art case showcasing the bad things or the detriments that the otaku lifestyle does to people.
There is a word for it. I'm sorry. Like I'm just trying to think of it in my head. Keep going.
That was pretty much all I had to say about that. And like the kind of stuff that like actually makes you like a shut-in. Like Papa Franco, done videos so good. I mean, he pretty much described it better than anybody could. If you like anime, like that's fine. That's fine with me. I don't give a fuck. But like there's a difference between being that and being like a full-on actual weeaboo. Like people toss around that word a lot as like a joke, like, "How you like anime, you fucking weeb." But actual like weebs and like weeaboo culture, that's part of the problem over there.
Who like live that shit, really.
Yeah, there are people in Japan who are like that, who live that kind of shit, and I feel like it's mostly young people, unfortunately, and that. Nothing separates you more from actual women than the otaku lifestyle, where you have like these sort of like warped fucking like hold on, let me lower this a bit. These sort of like warped like delusions of who they actually are. Like nothing separates you from them more than actually shutting yourself in and just relieving yourself constantly like through porn and stuff like porn addiction. Like porn is fine, every now and again, but if you're watching it too much, I mean, it does showcase not only crazy unrealistic expectations for women's bodies, but also just for who they are as people or anything. Like you'll like, be like cheating on your girl or some shit with some woman and she walks in, you've been together for like 10 years of marriage and then she's like, "Well, guess I'll join you," even though nothing like that has ever happened in her life. It's like it's dumb. It's just dumb, and that's the kind of stuff that separates it.
I do agree, and it's kind of a thing that's been going on, like, and it's been going on for a while, and plus it's just kind of seeped into like the States over here as well. I've met, I don't know them personally, but I go to Mitsuo every now and then, and it's like that Japanese supermarket that's in Edgewater. And I always see, like, my fair share of, like, unadulterated weebs every time I go there. There's always that one group that I know, like, it's like, they're, like, living vicariously through their anime by going to a Japanese, like, fucking supermarket and eating Japanese food. And, it's, like, I like Japanese shit more than any, like, as any other guy, really. Like, I love Japanese food. Like, I'm into it. But it's like, it's also another thing when, like, I don't know, when you just love a culture that much that, like, a Japanophile and a weeaboo kind of, like, go hand in hand. Because, like, a lot of people in the West, they fetishize that shit a lot. And it kind of weirds me out because I've seen people do the same with, like, Korean culture because, like, everyone loves K-pop and shit. And, like, I see, like, all the time, like, people just, like, saying like, "Oh my god, this group is the best." Like non-Koreans, mind you. Like this is literally people here that are saying like, it's like, "Yeah, this group is the best" and all that crap. And like they literally start like I know like every universe's Twitter verse is always borderline retarded. It's like, I know your Smash community is borderline retarded with the tweets. Yeah. I've seen K-pop fights on Twitter literally melt my brain as to how dumb it is.
Never say anything bad about K-pop on the internet. They'll find you. Like, those people are actually fucking insane. Yeah. Like, they will, like, look up, like, they'll, like, reverse, like, what am I trying to say? They'll reverse, like, search you, like, find
they'll dox you.
Find your fucking IP address or some shit because they'll dox something you. Bad about, like, their K-pop group. Like, those people are actually insane. Like, slit your wrist because, like, they want, like, the fucking carve like their fucking Stan's name into their arm. Like they're like, those people are actually like legitimately mentally ill. Yeah. Like they have like serious fucking problems. And by the way, welcome to the Double D experience. I'm actually disappointed. This time we were like damn near 12 minutes in without like introducing it. or anything. I want to apologize. I'm so fucking off today.
Hello.
I'm just like my back really hurts. I have like a fucking disc shit or whatever. I'm not, and I'm angry. I'm fucking angry at like all this dumbass like health problems and shit. Like how unathletic my fucking family is. I hate my shit genes, and it's annoying because you know my fucking parents want me to have grandkids at some point in my life, which I don't even know if I want. What am I gonna do? Now I'm gonna bring like another fucking autistic cripple into the world. Y'all really want that? You want me to pass down my fucking Asperger's onto this little turd and then have him not be able to play sports either? Not a fun childhood. It's not a fun one. As the guy who grew up with that, I have Asperger's. It's not always the funnest times when you're a kid, though they makes you special in other regards. But the good news, like I told Dennis earlier, ladies and gentlemen, is now I'm fucking furious. And because of me being furious, I can't think of a better time to discuss the latest and greatest ongoing exposition that the internet has ever seen. It's a war that's been waged from the henceforth times in the yesteryear of 2 whole months ago between gamers and women.
No, hot tubbers.
Hot tubbers, women, whatever. And
why can't I be a hot tubber?
Probably
what the fuck?
You can.
What?
You can.
No, but I'd be
flagged.
I'd be flagged though. No. I'd be flagged though. More often.
We don't know. We don't
know.
No.
Listen, I think I would be because they would probably have it out for me just because I have a penis.
Well, like, God diddly damn.
Like that's some prejudice shit, ain't it?
Well, listen.
Before
we start,
I'm just trying to make a living.
Listen.
In this hot tub.
Shut the fuck up, Dennis, for 1 minute, okay? I hate you, and I hate this, and I really feel like punching something. But the only things within my peripheral are my gaming PC. Cost a lot of money.
And your 3070.
Yeah,
it's probably worth more than your entire system.
It's probably
right now, at least.
I'm actually facts.
Like, if you literally sold your fucking 3070, you could get yourself a new PC. Probably. With that money.
But it wouldn't have a 3070 in it.
Facts, but that's the thing, though. That's how fucking crazy the value is right now with some of this shit.
Listen to me
I know, sorry,
for a second, everybody, okay? I'm really off today. This is a topic that me and Dennis actually really wanted to talk about all week because there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack here. And we don't normally research our shit before we do this. I mean, we'll research it at like a minimal level, but we'll just voice our opinions, you know, like Dennis says. We don't do facts here, apparently. So
that's a crutch for us, and that's also a first line of defense for anyone coming after us.
Exactly.
We say it all the time. It's like we say it all the time. Like, I don't deal with facts. I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And I don't like go around saying that like that I'm this like know-it-all and whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I don't do
that. We are morons. Pretty much. Pretty much. So, here's the dealio in case you people have been living underneath a rock for a week. So, Twitch.tv. It's a website, unfortunately. And on it, it's... You all know Twitch, you know, it's a live streaming website. You stream yourself on it, doing pretty much anything, mostly gaming. It started out as like mostly like a gaming website.
Yeah.
Except in the last couple of months or so, there has been a surface, if you will, of something that has eloquently been named the hot tub streamer. And it is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's somebody, you literally like 95% of the time, a woman, a very attractive woman, plopping herself in a little $5 hot tub that she bought from Walmart, and or kiddie pool that she bought from Walmart and filled with water that she probably boiled on her stove, and literally puts it in her living room, like in her house is where she puts it, and that's the stream. Sort of like a Just Talking stream where she's sitting in a hot tub. Now this has sparked a war between, like I said, the great incel party of Twitter.com and people with Y chromosomes. Those two things have been going at it for quite some time about this. Literally the last couple of months. Because a lot of people are saying, like, oh, this stuff doesn't belong on Twitch. You know, like, it's too, like, oh, sexually explicit, blah, 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 this and that. And women are like, no, these women are just doing their own streams. They want to be them. There's nothing wrong with it. And before we get into, like, the nitty-gritty of anything, I want to say that if you're one of those people who thinks that, you know, oh, these streams don't belong on Twitch because Twitch is a gaming website, I will gladly, I will say to you right now, you are living in the past. Yeah. Twitch has made it abundantly fucking clear.
We're gonna pander to these women.
That Twitch is not a gaming website anymore. It's not just a gaming live streaming website anymore. They introduced like music streams and just chatting streams a while ago, and now they're pretty much some of the most popular things on the platforms. And don't get me wrong, just chatting streamers are fucking horrible people, but that's a whole different discussion to
some of them are good.
Else. Yeah, some of them I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's like 90% they're pretty shit. Like
yeah,
like I could see Keemstar having one too, and like you know he'd just be like the worst fucking thing ever on that platform. He's the worst fucking thing. Period.
I'll just give you all like a friendly reminder that these people, like if you have like some sort of accident, like they will like more than anything they would prefer to actually like film it and spark some sort of discussion to get more people to click on their stream than actually like helping others. Like I'm dead serious. Like if there was like a fucking like shooting somewhere that they were at, they would probably like keep their stream running so they could just like talk about it some more and then change their fucking handle to I was almost just shot at or something, even if there's like a noise or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Fuck, I'm so bad at making analogies today. I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking off today. Point is,
don't
like,
beat yourself up.
I'm trying not to. The point is, it's like, these streams have been present on Twitch for like the last couple of months and whatnot, and they're e-girl streams, like anything else. They're like anything else except. The thing is, it's like with these streams, it's like I think they're totally okay, just for like women to do if they want. Like, I don't think anybody with a brain is having a problem like with the actual streams themselves. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole different discussion. Again, if you're saying that like, oh, these things don't belong on Twitch because Twitch is a gaming website, again, you're living in the past.
Yeah,
like this, like let that go.
2012, 2015, that era. Like, that was when it was strictly all gaming, and then as the years went on, like, they added more and more stuff onto it. Because people started to also change up the formula themselves. Like, it wasn't Twitch that did it. Like, content creators did it themselves. Like, the speaking streams, like, them just sitting there talking with people, like, that wasn't a thing that Twitch made. That was something that some other guy made. At least that's how I think of it. Like, it's still a gaming thing, but it's like, it's become kind of what television for us was, in that it's just the box that you can watch a bunch of other shit on it. It's not just strictly gaming no more.
No, it's definitely not. And
it's a variety like you can get off of it, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking at like Rod Breslow's like Twitter feed right now to see like where like it actually hold on a second to see where it actually is, because they changed a lot of what was I saying? Oh yeah, well this is like sort of relevant now because Twitch made like a they made like a statement recently or whatever, or they changed up their website, because the thing is that like this is I'm not gonna sit here and say that like all of these streams are softcore porn, but most of them are.
Yeah, 90%. Come on, like
I'm sorry, like to anybody who is like I'm not even entertaining that debate. Hot tub streams are softcore porn. They're softcore porn. They're softcore porn. They are.
Here's the thing though too.
Porn.
To that argument. To that argument though, like these women, they themselves, I don't think have almost made it that way. Maybe they probably if they were honest with themselves, like they probably just could. But like, guys who watch girls on Twitch, they're not doing it. Most of the time, at least, there's always like a sexual angle to it. It's like, oh yeah, like Alinity and all them, like, oh, I want to fuck her. Like, and Alinity and a few of them like have fucking OnlyFans. So it's like, therefore, like anyone trying to make an argument against that, it's like, you don't got one. I'm sorry. Like, that's how it is with a lot of them. Because, I mean, it'd be one thing. I'm just like in my brain, it's so fucking dumb. But it's like seeing like a girl doing a hot tub stream, right? Yeah. But like she's wearing like one of those one pieces where like everything's covered, like there's no cleavage, no nothing. Like like the bathing suit itself is like literally the ones you would have seen from like the 1930s.
Right.
Like no bikini at all. It's just like a one piece, like from strap shoulder to down to like your nether regions. If that was her and like, she's just in the hot tub, it's like, okay, I guess she's just talking, like she's not showing off anything. And Twitch used to be pretty stringent on that, like showing cleavage and shit. And I mean, I guess they kind of still are, but like that's the thing with Twitch though. It's like I always hear them go in one direction, and then I always hear them go in the other fucking direction.
Well, here's
like, they never have like a central fucking viewpoint about shit. It's always like flip flops every fucking time.
Well, here's the thing. It's like no, like I said, nobody is like really too upset about the hot tub streamers just doing their hot tub streams. Some other streamers were for a while though, right? And the reason that they were is because Twitch is. People have complained about Twitch forever. I fucking hate Twitch. I fucking hate them so much. I hate the fact that I hate the fact that we like they pretty much own the esports industry at this point. Because, like, you know, without like, you know, being able to broadcast them on here, they're nothing. It's, like, literally the hub for it, and nobody has the balls to just leave Twitch and, like, try out another platform. Not to mention they're backed by Amazon, so that shit's pretty much never gonna change. But the reason these things are relevant again all of a sudden is because people have been asking Twitch about this forever. Twitch has never given any answers, and it's just flat out hypocritical, right? Because they allow these hot tub streamers, right? Which is blatant sexual content. These women, I can think of one that, like, one had this donation incentive where they get to a certain point and then they literally just, like, put their asshole to the camera and start, like, you know, making it clap, right? A lot of other, like, of those streamers as well have other donation incentives for them to change into a skimpier bikini. And then there's another one that a lot of them do where, like, you hit a certain amount of money, you donate a certain amount of money, they will write your name on somewhere on their body. Like, it's sexual content. It is sexual content. That is the notion of it. So, that being said, a lot of people were upset about this because there have been a lot of times where other streamers got banned and shit for sexual content that wasn't even namely, like, you know, sexual or anything in nature. Like, one of the notable ones would be Mango, who I talked about this a couple months ago or something on the podcast, where he got banned for 3 days because he humped a statue.
That is
Little
right.
anime girl statue. He got banned for 3 days for that. For sexual content. Another one would be this other dude who I think Critical mentioned in his video about it. I definitely recommend watching Critical's video about it. I recommend watching Critical for any shit that happens on the internet. He's the GOAT. Where I forgot the name of the streamer, but there was this one. He got trolled, right? One of his viewers trolled him and tricked him into accidentally pulling up like a horse cock on his stream, right? Guy didn't even mean to do it. He got pranked by one of his viewers. He got banned for a month. He got banned for a month. The guy couldn't stream or anything like that. And there's countless other ones as well. And people have been complaining about, like, you know, this little double standards on Twitch because there have been a lot of, like, frankly, for lack of a better term, Egirls who have literally, like pulled, like, their fucking underwear, like, so tight up into them that you can see their fucking cervix. There's this one, there's another one that happened, and then Alinity, to bring up her, like you mentioned before, flashed her tits on stream, didn't get banned, literally had to ask her, like, Twitch to ban her, like, to save her fucking reputation, basically. Like, there is a blatant bias at Twitch HQ. Like, there's a blatant one towards that, and that is the stuff that people are actually upset about. Not the fact that the hot tub streamers exist, not the fact that they're, like, out here doing their thing. It's Twitch claiming they have a problem with sexual content and then allowing these hot tub streamers on their platform with very sexually suggestive and sexual in nature donation incentives and all this stuff. It is sexual content. Most of those hot tub streamers are softcore porn. I'm not debating anybody on that. You're a fucking simp if you're actually saying that they're not. I will flat out say that. And speaking of simps, the reason this is relevant all of a sudden is because Twitch, in response to this, finally, which we'll get into why they actually finally responded to this in a bit, they have created a new pools, hot tubs, and beaches category. It's a category now for Twitch streamers. And if you do not appropriately categorize your stream, you may be moved into the category by the Twitch staff. And what they add onto this is that they say, and this is from the actual new Twitch terms of service, they say, while they have guidelines about sexually suggestive content, this is a direct fucking quote, being found to be sexy by others is not against our rules, and Twitch will not take enforcement action against women or anyone on our service for their perceived attractiveness. And before you get into the obvious notions of how, like, that is simp behavior, which it is, there's good to that as well. There have been times where, like, you know, people have made, like, you know, Twitch montages or whatever of women who are not even e-girl or, you know, titty streamers, again, for lack of a better word, who just zoomed in on their ass whenever they got up on their stream, like, to, like, go leave the room for a minute or something like that, who did objectify them, like, just because they were women, even though, like, they weren't, like, you know, the stream feature or whatever, even though they weren't doing anything, with their bodies or anything like that. That is true. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like punish those women or say like, yeah, you're not allowed to show your ass to the camera? You have to walk backwards when like you leave your fucking room to go to the bathroom? No, that's oppressive as fuck. Like, there's this French animated movie about like this Iranian woman who like moved to Europe or some shit, and like her like stories and struggles with that, and that movie really goes deep into like the religious laws that they have over there in like those Middle Eastern countries. There's this one bit where, like, I'll never forget it, where, like, the woman got stopped on the sidewalk, right? The police literally stopped her and be like, oh, you need to stop walking like that because it makes your ass jiggle in a certain way, and that's, like, illegal. They deem that immoral. And so the woman literally screamed at the cops, so stop fucking staring at my ass. And then she literally just ran away, or walked away. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna fucking make it illegal for this woman to have an ass? Like, what are you doing? She can't get rid of that shit. She doesn't want to get rid of that shit. That's where she puts things inside of for her pleasure, and also pees out of for like her respiratory functions. Not respiratory, her bodily functions. Her gastrointestinal ones. You want her to be able to shit? Well, she needs that shit. There you go. So point is, it's like, yeah, that's a good rule, actually, on paper that a lot of people probably don't even fucking realize. I didn't realize it at first until it was really pointed out to me. Like, yeah, sometimes these women are objectified for no reason. But that's not what people are upset about here. They are upset about the fact that Twitch is allowing content that is blatantly sexual content and then banning people for jokingly humping statues or having shit accidentally sent to them on their streams. That is where the hypocrisy comes in. So it's been like this like constant like shitstorm for a while, like Twitch. Are you okay with sexual content on your platform? Or are you not? There was this other tweet that I saw where like some people were like literally live streaming themselves having sex, and like the whole stream wound up staying up on Twitch. Nothing happened.
What the fuck?
Nothing happened, and I saw the footage. Like, it was not safe for work footage that I saw on Twitch. Like, people like tweeted that in response to Rod Breslow's tweet. So my point in saying this here is that what people are actually upset about is that there is a clear, blatant fucking bias here. And I've said this a couple months ago. A simp bias. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Fuck Twitch. The website is ran by simps. And they have this monopoly because like Amazon owns them, and because like it's like pretty much become like the hub for esports. That is where that is what the actual issue is first and foremost. Maybe I'll just like edit the part where I was confused away. Sorry, I've been dealing with a lot of shit recently, so I've been kind of confused. But I think I pretty much I think I got it now. Do you think? I think I got it now. I think that was okay, Dennis. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if we're fucking around here, but like,
I mean, we're definitely
we fuck around all the time.
And what I will say is that apparently the reason, and I'll remind you here, like for two reasons as to why the people at Twitch are not your friends, is because the reason they finally did something about this, right? It's because for these hot tub streamers, advertisers were pulling out. They didn't want their brands to be associated with stuff that is clearly sexual content, because they're not fucking pretending the content isn't sexual either, like Twitch is responding here. They're saying like being not found to be sexy is against the terms of service. I'm like, Twitch is sexual content. It is sexual content. So,
I have two questions then.
Yeah, please.
One being like, do you think that kind of saved their bacon, them doing that? And then two, it's like, you think like, since you already said, like, Twitch already has, like, a monopoly on, like, basically esports and, like, it being what it is, like, would you say that Twitch would be considered, or at least, not right now, I guess, but would have been considered kid-friendly back in the day? Before all this shit happened?
That's the thing. Because I agree
right?
with... I have two things. To answer your first question, right? Save their bacon in terms of, like, yeah, I think they needed like to PR put it in its own category for a while now, because it's clearly something else, and, like, these women are using a loophole to get around the fact that they can wear, skimpy things now, which is, again, something that is normally against the Twitch terms of service, but they can do it. That's different because, I mean, they put them in their own category, right? Which is good for them because, like, they'll have that sort of attention or whatever, but it's also bad for them because those advertisers did, like, permanently pull out of the hot tub streams. Okay. That's not a thing that they get anymore. But for them, that's not a bad thing. 90% of their money comes from donations, like any other Twitch streamer. Twitch streamers, most of their money doesn't come from the ads that they have on their channels. Most of their money like comes from the support that they get and from their subs and whatnot. It's why people like Ludwig and what's the other guy, Ninja and all that stuff. That's why they're the richest and most successful ones, because they're the most subscribed. So yeah,
unless they also get a lot of sponsors though, because like there are some streamers that are heavily sponsored by like several different like affiliates.
It depends on the sponsor.
Yeah, but like it also depends on the number of them too, because it's like if you're sponsored by one, it's like okay, but if you're sponsored by 20 something companies, let's say, like your fucking Twitch stream is the Twitch stream equivalent of a fucking NASCAR. You know how like NASCARs are, like they have like the stickers of like every single company that like basically sponsored them, like all plastered around the car. That's like basically them. Like they're just a big Twitch stream version of a NASCAR. Like that's like for at least these guys who are heavily sponsored. And yes, you're right in terms of the donations. Yeah, that's how like at least the top earners, that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
And the thing is too is that I'm gonna be bringing this little bit into it. Like OnlyFans for a lot of these girls, like that's like a lot of these Twitch streamers who are streamers and also OnlyFans like users, they make more money off of that, off of OnlyFans more than Twitch, because I think I heard somewhere that Twitch like takes a 50% pay cut or some shit like out of like whatever money you make off of it,
because
it's
your
like
subs,
if like off of like because it's like our platform and such. Which
a sub is technically $2.50, not actually $5. That's how much the streamer is actually getting.
Yeah, which again, like it's Twitch's terms of service. If you don't like it, then like that's fair enough. But I'm just saying as it is. Like that's how they are over there, and it's really no wonder that a lot of those girls too like make more money off of OnlyFans. And where I'm kind of going with this is that like for one, Twitch has definitely changed like immensely over the years. Like since what we knew of it from like the early 2010s to like what it is now, it's a completely different beast. And it kind of was accelerated, I feel, due to the pandemic, because especially when last year March hit, nobody was going outside.
Yeah.
So therefore, everyone's just going to be inside. Fuck it. For a lot of them, streaming is their version of how our boomer parents watch TV.
They were all playing Animal Crossing.
Or that too, yeah. So, but like streaming is like their version of TV. And like that's what a lot of them were being plugged into, like, and just watching like for, months on end at that point.
Yeah.
Things are starting to open up now and people are starting to go outside a little more. So, that's maybe it's going to change a little bit, but like Twitch itself, like, and for a lot of these female top earners too, it's like, I don't really fuck with Twitch that much, because like I used to watch a lot, but that was me just watching StarCraft pro games.
Yeah.
And I don't watch it that much anymore. And even YouTubers that I like and that I watch, when they say they stream, I never catch it. Like, that's just me, at least. I know a lot of people would, but I guess what I'm kind of getting at is that, like, I think one thing that I feel a lot of people are starting to hate with Twitch, and even me personally, because I hate this shit, like, when people are not honest with themselves, especially even companies, it's the hypocrisy of it all. Because Twitch says that, in their own words, basically are saying that we're going to pander to these women and there is nothing y'all can do about it, and get fucked if you care enough.
That was their statement, basically, and saying that, like, oh, if you find them sexy, well, that's your fucking problem. Then it's like, no, they tried so hard to like try to phrase around it, saying we don't think this is sexual content. You think this is sexual content, and you're a fucking pervert if you think otherwise. Yeah, that's right. Which is them projecting, right? Because that there are going to be like some of those hot tub streamers who are going to try to get around the advertisements by streaming and just chatting as their category instead. And when they do that, Twitch is going to manually move them back into the pools, hot tubs, and streamers category, which they're going to do one-handed. So,
oh yeah, of course.
That's the thing. What was your second question, though?
Oh fuck, I forgot. It was. I'm trying to think. Nah, it's too long. Can't think of it.
Tragic. Yeah, because like they're gonna. They were trying so hard to just like tiptoe around that, which is just such a weird thing to do.
It's a like, pussy thing to do as well.
Yeah,
it's like, why would you try to tiptoe over something that clearly is right in front of you? Like, let's address the 500-pound elephant in the room, okay? Just fucking look at the problem, acknowledge it, and just fucking fix it. I hate it, especially when like I think it's even worse nowadays where like I just hate like I used to not give a fuck what a lot of companies really did, even if it was like fucked up shit. Like I really didn't care, but it's like now I like the one thing that I because like that's what companies do. They always like just companies are companies. Like everyone's got to stop thinking that like it's like they're out there to help you or they're out there to like be your friend. It's like companies don't give a fuck about you. Even companies that you like don't give a fuck about you. Like everyone's got to stop like putting them on a pedestal, in my opinion. And like especially like even a company like Twitch, and then even above that like Amazon, because like Amazon's got them under their umbrella now, because I think they even use their AWS, like Amazon Web Services, like kind of utilities, which is like Amazon's basically literally took a fucking class on this, but like it's basically Amazon's like framework that they use for their all their applications and stuff. Like so basically their network. And since like Twitch is a part of that, like they're a part of Amazon. And like Twitch, at the end of the day, like every company is just going to do stuff that makes them money. And to be frank, a lot of times, at least to me it seems, I don't know the metrics too much, but women are the ones that bring more traffic to their website than anyone else. And I'm not even talking about like, let's say guys who are like top earners, because there's plenty of guys like Ninja and a few others like who do make more money than any of these female streamers put together. But it's like the ones who bring traffic to the site are women. And for Twitch, the more traffic to their site means more money for us. Which again, if that is their end goal and that's their main MO, I got nothing to say to that, because that's what like Twitch is like a web-based fucking company. Like
what I hate is that they're trying to like mask it as like this.
No, that's what I mean.
Progressive thing. Like look
that's what I mean.
Progressive we are. Like it's
they love to veil that shit. Because that's the thing that a lot of companies love to do nowadays. Ever since even George Floyd and even after that, everyone as in these companies just love to veil their shitty fucking like measures or whatever in a way that it's like it's supportive of Black Lives Matter, it's supportive of women.
It's pretty quick how like Pride Month got like capitalized, like that's all Pride Month is now. It's like people like changing their logos to rainbow. Be like, hey, you could please buy our shit now.
Yeah, it's like
we like you,
and that's why like I'm saying like I hate the fucking hypocrisy of it all, because it's like we all know you couldn't give less of a fuck about gays, blacks, or women, for the most part, at least.
Yeah.
Like, we know you couldn't give less of a fuck.
Yeah, Twitch just didn't. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like the pandering, like just like stop, like for fuck sake, like everyone thinks that we're stupid, especially companies, like because like it's only been recently that I guess like with Chipotle and a few others, like everyone's been trying to unionize against Amazon right now, and like everyone's like trying to basically on strike against Amazon, like. We've seen like instances like that even in the past where like Amazon workers were like saying like working conditions here are fucking terrible and like we want better conditions or we want more pay, and like Amazon just kind of tiptoes over the fucking subject and shit, and usually just does like a half measure and doesn't really get anything done. It's that whole half measure don't get anything done shit is even worse nowadays, because they pander to all these fucking groups. And again, no one's more oppressed than women. I'm not saying that they're not oppressed women out there. But here's the thing. They are lumped together in the same category as black people, which I don't think I need to go into the history of to say like how oppressed they've been economically and even politically. Like all that shit, like, that's like a whole can of worms that like, we could get into, but I'm not going to. And then there's plus the alphabet people. The LGBT and Qs, like all them guys, like they all like they've had their own fair bullshit sandwich to deal with as well. But like women are also in that category too now, and it's like some of you have seen like women especially like, and I'm not saying that all of y'all are like this, but like some women out there have seen some immense ass social mobility. Especially if we're talking about ones that have been on OnlyFans, which your income's not permanent. Let's just get that out of the way. Once your looks are faded, your time on OnlyFans is over as well. So you better fucking save that money and like do something with it afterwards.
I think they'll be fine.
Some of them aren't though. Like some people, when they get money, they do a lot of stupid shit with it.
Well, yeah.
So it's I've done that. So like I've learned that. Like And that's why I'm saying, like, it's just so odd that they're, like, part of this depressed group when it's like, are you really, like, do you really belong in that category? And it's like, I'm not saying that their plight isn't, like, legitimate either, but it's, like, this pandering, especially, like, if we're going to go back to Twitch, this pandering from them is just, like who promised you pussy? Like, which of these women promised these guys in Twitch pussy that they're like, hey, make things a little bit easier for us, and I promise to suck your cock underneath the table?
To add on to that, if I could, yes, I couldn't agree with you more in that Twitch is more than anything, they're just a brand, you know, trying to protect their image. I think they want to, like, not admit it's sexual content because they're afraid of advertisers pulling out in general. I think that's something that they're afraid of. Yeah. But in terms of what you were saying about Twitch, like, yeah, they're not your fucking friends. They are not your friends. They're not here to help you. They don't give a fuck about any semblance of social change, despite one of those little, like, like little fucking 2-minute, like, little montages will show for you. And to add on to that, who's actually paying them or who's, like, promised you sex or whatever. Y'all think I'm joking with that. You think we're joking with that. We're not fucking joking with that. Twitch is legitimately ran by fucking simps. And there is evidence.
Its history speaks of itself.
There is evidence to that. I'm going to bring up something that I think nobody remembers for whatever fucking reason. I hate to, sort of correlate this, correlate the best back to Smash a little bit, or what happened with Smash almost a year ago at this point. One of the biggest guys who got canceled was D1. He was pretty much the top streamer for Smash, and, like, the guy was on, like, the Disney Channel, like when Evo 2017 Top 8 was on fucking Disney XD or on the Disney Channel or something like that. Like, he was huge, and he got fucking deleted.
Oh yeah, this guy. Okay.
He got deleted because he slept with an underage drunk girl. Like, he got an underage girl drunk and fucked her, right? So back then there were people, like, arguing, like, about, like, back then, because it was just Egirls. There were no hot tub streamers back in my day. There were people who talked about, like, Egirl streamers, and that's when I feel like more people were really upset about just the fact that e-girl streamers existed, because they're like, oh, this is a gaming platform, blah, blah, blah. And again, that actually is kind of incel shit at this point. Like, just leave it be. I mean, I think if you watch that shit, you're a loser, but we'll get on that later.
Guys have been such pussies for such a long time, too, which also fucking bugs the shit out of me, because,
listen, Dennis, if I could, very quickly.
God.
D1 worked for Twitch. He worked at Twitch. He was in, like, some sort of creative position. Over there.
I remember. I remember this. We talked about this before.
He worked at Twitch.tv. I don't know why everyone forgets that. And he was publicly asked about, like, the kind of stuff that happened at Twitch a lot of time. And every time he was asked about that, he found some new creative way to sidetrack. He found some new way to, like, sidetrack it, because he knew that he had no answer to what was actually going on right there.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that. And I'm not, it's like, it's unfair to say this because there's no true prime evidence of it. If you ask me, I think Twitch knew about his behavior. I think they clearly knew about his behavior, like, from the fact that he, like, was never able to answer those questions about Twitch, or why, like, they apparently had, like, this inherent bias towards, like, e-girls and whatnot, that they were able to get away with blatant sexual content, with flashing their actual pussies and their tits, and they would never get banned. Meanwhile, like, other streamers would get banned for accidentally showing shit or whatever. Can we talk about the fact that, like, an actual sexual predator worked there for as long as he did? I don't know why everyone forgets that, but I think that in and of itself is kind of proof that there's some shady shit going on there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, the website is ran by simps. They banned the word simp. You're not allowed to say the word simp on Twitch. I'm not kidding. It's in their terms of service. Look it up. It's in their fucking terms of service. You're not allowed to say Twitch or any of those, like, terms regarding around, like, e-girls or whatever. You're not allowed to say it. And it's because they know that's what they fucking are. Please, wait, I'm not, like, going to be one of those guys, or, like, one of those big conspiracy theorists who constantly say shit like this, and I hate this term, but wake the fuck up. Like, there is clearly actual fucking shit like that going on over there. They clearly have an inherent bias towards these people, to the point where instead of calling what is clearly sexual content, which they say they have a problem with, they say, oh, you find the streamer sexy? You find the streamer that's in an incredibly
That's
skimpy
your
bikini
problem.
and shaking her ass against the camera sexy. Well, you're a fucking pervert for saying that. And you're a misogynist piece of shit. Cisgender motherfucker. It's like they mask that shit in terms of they mask that shit with SJW progressivism, which they don't give a fuck about. These people are getting their rocks off to these women. I'm telling you, that is what is fucking happening. It's just
Going back on that, it's like, there's nothing wrong with calling a girl like, sexy and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, if you think a girl is sexy, fucking holler at her. And if she is not receptive to it, well, okay, then that's something you got to deal with. But you're online. It's like, I even said it to my cousin one day that like, literally like the entire internet is just like, has become an even bigger online strip club. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, OnlyFans is like in that same purview, if anything. Like, you literally go to a girl you like, pay her money, and she gives you content. And it's really not that much different from what like strippers do like at strip clubs. It's just, it's all online. You have like a personalized photo, shit like that. For Twitch, I don't think there's anything like that. Like, it's just a lot of these girls anyways always end up saying like, oh yeah, and here's my OnlyFans link like on the bottom. It's like, yeah, check this out right here. Like, all these girls, like, that's like that's their way of business now. Especially if they're cute enough or pretty enough, like that's their main way of business. And if that is the case, like, I don't look at any OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, for me, it's porn, because that is porn. Yeah. And for me, porn is just like a means to an end. It's like, if I'm horny and my girlfriend's not with me and I'm just here with my left hand, I just whack one out, and then after that, like, I just go back to whatever the fuck I'm doing. Like, that's at least me with porn.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people aren't like that, but it's like I remember seeing like an entire thread of people who were basically literally verbally going at it about like, why they do like buy OnlyFans subscriptions, and like, because like their main argument is that like, the content's personalized. And I'm like I'm not saying that, it's like, I don't know, I'm not even gonna say like fuck sinful, but like, I don't know why my brain was going into there, but like, it's like, why do you like, I get it, you're horny and all that, but it's also like, like, we drop so much money on dumb shit all the time, and this is literally just like another thing tagged onto the shit that we spend out so much money on, and it's such dumb shit in the end. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, because like, we are very much a like, our culture in and of itself is very much like businesses and companies always just love to like tell you like, spend your money, come buy this thing. We got specials, we got deals. Like, that's like how like, American sort of like kind of capitalism has infiltrated like our like family life, in that like, everything you watch, commercials and such, like everything always just tells you like, buy. Like, we get emails all the time from Amazon saying like, hey, there's a deal on this, like, we think you might like it. It's just always trying to get you to buy something. And OnlyFans subscriptions are literally a part of that whole list of shit that I know for a fact, like, people in their heart of hearts know that they don't need this shit, but they get it anyways because fuck it, why not? It's only $5. It's only $2. Who gives a fuck? Like, okay, I go get a personalized nude for myself. That's only $2. Mm-hmm. Fuck it, yeah, I'll do that because like, it's not worth anything in the end.
Like, it's not like, you guys know women get naked on the internet for free. They exist. Like,
people
they go on different websites. You can just fucking go there. Like,
that's their argument, though. It's like, it's the same shit. They're all saying it's the same shit over and over again. It's like, I want something different, and I'm like, why don't you go and get like a real girlfriend?
Yeah, like, this is something I'm gonna say here real quick. One thing that even like my ex-girlfriend said that somebody else said. It's something that feeds into each other, and it's like they're both fucking nasty bottom feeders off of the other, right? And it creates like, it actually affects our everyday culture, which is what I'm scared. I'm scared that people are actually going to legitimately believe that hot tub content isn't sexual content, and that it's going to become like some feminist thing moving forward, and that softcore porn should be allowed on.
Oh, okay, let's not take it that far yet.
Yeah, but the point is, I'm saying this is because Simps and Egirls are two sides of the same coin.
Oh, yeah,
they literally cannot exist.
That's like their
without
ecosystem.
Each other. Without Simps, Egirls do not have a business. They have no business model because no man who has ever respected himself in the history of life is donating money to a fucking almost half-naked woman on stream for them to write their little gamer tag on their body. If you do that, you are a fucking loser. I don't care who you are. You're a fucking loser for doing that shit. There's actual fucking naked women on the internet. Go jack off to them. And better yet, there's real women outside. Like, women were not made up by the internet, dude. They're a real thing. Like, it isn't this, like, amazing, like, thing that just for this amazing third-party artificial thing that for whatever reason titillates a man's sexuality. No, women are real. Like, there's a base to that shit. You go outside, you could see one walking on the street. I'm sure some of them are your neighbors, maybe. They're real fucking people, believe it or not. I know you have a hard time interacting with them because you never do. But, yeah, it's like... The thing is that Twitch basically just made a new section for softcore porn under an innocent name to keep advertisers from leaving so they can rake in money instead of just actually fucking moderating the site. And where does it end? You know, like, as far as, like, Twitch terms of service goes, like, you're allowed to be a streamer if you're, like, above the age of 13. Are fucking 14-year-old girls gonna start doing hot tub streams? Do you realize the fucking precedence that sends? There's nothing in the terms of fucking service against that. And on top of everything, seeing the female streamers who've tried to speak out against this being harassed, because there's a debate there in and of itself. Like, like strippers. Some women say that stripping is a very feminist act because it's like them owning their bodies. Some women say that, like, oh, you're just pandering to men or whatever by doing this. There's
most
an actual
strippers couldn't
debate
care
there.
about the feminism. It's just like, I'm here for a paycheck. It's like, fuck the feminism.
They
like,
get paid shit.
But if they're the
Same
good
thing,
that
like,
depends
they
on
make their donuts.
but that's what I mean. Like, you know, even stripping has like an OnlyFans tier where it's like only obviously the
It was
hottest strippers.
OnlyFans before OnlyFans.
I mean, that's
OnlyFans.
I even said that once in another episode before that like stripping really is just like OnlyFans is stripping just online. You just pay for personal shit, and like for stripping it, you pay for a lap dance. For me and me only in the champagne room. That's how it is over there.
Yeah.
It's the same way in OnlyFans.
Oh, God, I don't want to say that this shit doesn't even just, like, not belong on the platform because, low-key, I mean, with how young... Because that's another thing, too. Like, there's an argument to be made, like, we're saying, like, oh, this doesn't belong on the platform, and it's not because it's a gaming site, but because children could see this. That's not... I feel like that's not even all too valid. Yeah, because Twitch has, like, such, like, a childlike audience, but, like, a kid knows how to use Google.
Yeah,
a kid knows how to spell the word porn unless he's unless he really was never good at spelling bees. I think he knows how to like fucking spell T.
Like David, you want to know something?
Is there a second T in titties?
David, I literally watched age-restricted shit on YouTube.
When I was 12, me too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like we're not stupid. Like, you know, if anything, like, you know, 12.
Ow, like, fuck, ow, my hand. Oh, that was so stupid. Why did I do that? Ow.
Careful there, take it easy. But, like, you know, as, like, 12 and 13-year-olds.
Do that?
You okay? You okay?
I think I actually heard it's tingling.
All right, shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Why am I such an idiot?
Maybe you like regressed back into your 12, 13-year-old self because, like, you know, 12, 13-year-olds, we're all stupid.
If I regressed into my 12, 13-year-old self, I wouldn't be sitting here having this debate right now. I would be on twitch.tv and I would immediately go to the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category and grab my mom's credit card and walk it over to the fucking computer and slowly type in that number so I can get, you know, a net 123 469 to type Nintoonist on her fucking ass. Or it's a big tag. I would rather have a woman like write it up the leg instead because my tag has like 10 letters. So I don't think unless that woman is fucking thick as all fuck, Nintoonist is not fitting spread across the cheeks. It's not happening.
I want I want my tag, let's say, or Twitch tag. I don't know what the fuck they call it, Twitch ID, to be like a 37 character long ass like name, and I just want to see like she's gonna be like if I do give her money, it's like okay, where do I put it? Like do I put it in like the inner thigh? Like. I don't know if that's enough room, like, depending on how, like, if she is, like, a fucking munchkin. But, like, you know, it's like, you know, like, could I write it on my outer thigh? Like, it's like she's already struggling for 5 minutes just to pick where the fuck to write it. And it, like, stream's already going on, and, like, everyone else is held up. It's like, hey, where's my name? It's like, wait, I'm trying to get this guy's name first. And I'm holding up the line because it's like, she's trying to figure out, like, oh, like, should I just write it on my tits? Like, I don't know if it's big enough.
Oh, that would actually be really funny to fucking troll those people like that. Get them to write the Double D experience all over this woman's body. That'd be some great advertising.
So like 64 character ass like fucking like name.
Yeah. And to sum it up, I'm not worried about like the people streaming in the hot tubs. If they want to sit there and do that, that's their own prerogative.
Yeah, it's like
if
fuck
anything,
who cares?
these women are making bank. I'm worried about the sad men who watch these people. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's
I'm always worried about the dudes. That's the thing.
You can say that, like, oh, these dudes should be raised better and they should learn to not objectify women like this. And you're completely right. It's about, like, bringing up men the right way. You know, teach men not to rape, as they say. Don't blame the woman for dressing.
Consent.
Don't blame the woman for
Consent,
dressing
all
a
that
certain
shit.
way. Same thing. Stop staring at her ass. Don't be mad that she has an ass and it's jiggling, you know, the way that it is because you think that's immoral. Or like, a woman has a low-cut shirt. She's at the club. She's trying to have fun. It's not, she was asking for it. Like, if you're still using that argument in 2021, holy shit, you have a lot of growing up to do.
Or you stare but don't say nothing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like
looking at the sun. It's like
anything.
looking at the sun. You like take a look at it for a bit, and then you glance away because you know you're gonna get burned. That's how that works. But
like, why do guys have to feel as if they have to say something? Just shut the fuck up and just look at it and don't say anything. Like, it's so simple. Just don't fucking say anything.
It's like you complain about, like, I'm not at the risk of, you know, sounding, you know, bad, like a misogynist or anything. I'm worried that, like, all these donation incentives and stuff and, like, writing your name on this woman, that's just feeding into these men's problems. And you could easily say, just get rid of all the hot tub streamers, get rid of all the Egirls, and they'll be good to go. That's the same argument as saying, like,
there's a lack of accountability.
Exactly. It's the same thing as saying, like,
Yeah.
teenagers or, like, well, just the best way to stop teen pregnancies is to magically, you know, like, get them to all, like, not fuck, like, have abstinence to them. Best way to stop shootings in America is to somehow magically get rid of all the guns. And the best way, you know, to fight certain viruses is, or what does I say, to stop people from, like, using cocaine is to magically get rid of all the cocaine. It's not going to happen. You're still not holding the people who are doing that shit accountable. But at the same time, it's the internet. What can you fucking do? It's like, the guys who watch that kind of shit need therapy, man. It's like, if you're like one of those guys who like actually like watches like pool tubs and hot tub streamers or whatever.
Do you?
No, don't do you.
No. It's like, you know.
I'm saying if you're watching these people, I'm just saying you are getting further and further away from actual women. And that's just a fact.
But there's like, you know, different reasons why some people do watch shit. But like, the thing is though, it's like, if you're watching this, and this is strictly speaking like 90% of y'all, like, this is if you're watching her or whoever for like low-key sexual reasons, because 90% of you all are. Let's be fucking real. Come on. Like, you know, no one's watching a girl in a bikini in a bathtub and not being horny. Let's be real with ourselves, all right?
Yeah.
It's like, again, I will say this. It is what it is. But at the same time, though, the things underlying with all that stuff pertaining to, let's say, to dudes, yeah, as David said, it does exacerbate the problem because guys, a lot of them nowadays, don't do a lot of masculine things. And I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, you go work in construction or like fucking beat your wife or some shit like that. It's like, you know, going to a gym, working on yourself, you know, like fucking hell. Like, I didn't even start working out until like about a year ago. And I feel fucking great. David, despite like everything that's been going on with him, like, you know, he's been enjoying working out too. And like David, from what I remember, David, from what I remember though, like, you never worked out a day in your life before this, right?
Yeah, I Ring Fit definitely helped keep me into the habit. That game really like got me into the habit of doing it. It's pretty great.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Like, guys are so like wrapped up in their own fucking heads because like the whole thing about it, like this whole thing is that like, you know, if you love yourself, like you're not gonna love anyone else more than yourself. You know, it's like. Once people are like, but a lot of the problem is that a lot of guys aren't even like that to begin with, though. I'm not saying like the vast majority, but there is a big simp population out there.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of those guys, it's like there's a lot of lack of self-love for them. And personally for me, it's like if they could get their heads out of that, like they'll realize like, I mean, you know, like I'm not saying you shouldn't jerk off and shit. Like if it's like sexual things you need, like it's like, you know, people get and buy OnlyFans because they can't afford an escort,
right?
Because escorts are expensive. Like,
yeah,
they charge a lot of money, and you know, if anything, escorts are probably the ultimate OnlyFans. Like, I guess like service, because like you see the woman, you touch her, feel her, do whatever you want with her, with a fee attached. Like that's what it is, and I feel as if still nothing beats that because escorts make a fucking shitload of money. I think maybe not more than like let's say the top 1%ers of like OnlyFans, but it's like they do make a good chunk of change, and that's a service I feel that's still, if I was let's say not in a relationship, I mean I guess it doesn't really matter, but like you know what I'm thinking is that like that's a service that's still better than OnlyFans just because it's on a personal level, I suppose. Like you actually do meet the girl, you go on a date, even though it is, I guess you could even argue like kind of fabricated because it's like I paid for this, but it's like she's giving you what you want with a fee attached.
Right.
It's a good chunk of change, but like she's still giving you what you want. And I'm rambling, but it's like literally this whole like I'm not gonna be dramatic and call it like a simp epidemic and shit, but it's like the rise and all that crap like is the reason, like the reason behind it is because of the fact that guys don't love themselves as much anymore. We've been taught that our masculinity is a sin almost to a certain extent. Like it gets bombarded to us. I don't give a fuck. I'm a toxic masculine person. I don't give a fuck. It's like they've been taught that that's like a terrible thing, like being a man. And it's been beaten into a lot of dudes like nowadays from like other women or whoever the fuck else. Like it's just beaten into them so much that like being a man is bad. I'm like, what the fuck? Like like why though? Like that's the thing. It's like a lot of these guys aren't going around beating wives and like kicking women in the fucking pussy and shit. It's like they literally like, and they're already taught that like you being you is like a sin. It's like what the fuck? And like to those same guys, I would also say like, you know what? First of all, fuck them. Go to a gym, and even if you're a 300-pound like you know guy, it's like just go to the gym. Do whatever the fuck you need to either shed that off and feel good about yourself, or literally just like do anything to get yourself out of that mind state. And it's like, again, it like I'm kind of half and half in that whole argument because it's like with like the way like simps are, and it's like I don't know, like you guys may perceive this as like, let's say a good thing because it instantly gratifies them. It's like a real like, you know, quick thing. It's like the same as like masturbating. It's like, you know, like once you get that shit out of you, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, back to whatever I'm doing. At least that's for me. But a lot of people like, again, like the rut that they're in is just so deep, you know? Like being a guy is bad. You should love women all the time. It's like, I don't give a fuck about 80% of most women. Like if they all died, I wouldn't care. In my head.
Okay.
But because like the only women that I would care about are like the ones in my life.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't give a fuck about any other ones.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? Like my mom, my girlfriend, some of my friends that are girls, like shit like that. Like I wouldn't give a fuck about anyone else. Like who cares? But it's like, again, like for guys, and like I know I'm rambling, but it's like, guys, for fuck's sake, just love yourself first, if anything.
Yeah.
All right. Go work out. If you're fat, go work out. If you're skinny, go work out. Like, just fucking do something to get yourself out of that mind state.
Can I
throw your money into Chipotle?
throw your money into Chipotle? Throw it into Dogecoin.
Yeah, throw it into Dogecoin, not fucking OnlyFans. Like, you know.
Yeah. I fear that it has actual ramifications on our actual culture. You know, like where people like see this as like, you know, like, yeah, you're bad, you're wrong for, you know, being aroused or seeing, you know, hot tub streamers who are, you know, shaking their ass on camera as sexy. It's like you're wrong for perceiving the literal softcore porn as sexual content. It's like that's the thing that scares me, because it's like I don't know if men are going more and more to those kinds of things because they don't believe in themselves and like they're scared of talking to actual women, or they're like afraid of getting canceled, you know, for like doing the wrong thing on like a date or some shit if you're like a celebrity. It's like that's the kind of stuff I feel like, you know, people are drawn to it for a reason, and it's also just easy. It's also way easier to just sit on a screen and like fap to somebody, you know, like on the other end of the screen than actually like going out and talking to people and trying to earn sex, because men have to earn sex. If women want sex, they ask for it. That's a whole like different thing, and I feel like the gender like norms. Yeah, I feel like the gender norms are part of what plays into that, and is part of why these people are successful. And that's a thing as old as time. But I gotta say, I was going through the comments of Critical's video about it. Yeah, see what some people were thinking. Dennis, do you remember the woman that my ex-girlfriend was obsessed with?
No. Who is she?
You know, remember I told you, like,
What is it, Anita Sarkeesian?
No. You remember I told you about that, like, very weird, like, you know, like, situation I was in back in the, back when we were walking around. We were walking by Edgewater, and I was telling you about that. You don't remember when I told you about that?
Okay, I think I know. I think I may know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying because I don't want to say her name.
Yeah.
But I was just going through the comments, and somebody, like, commented. It's got a lot of likes, too. Somebody commented, lol, this person just casually popping up amongst the other hot tub streamers. Because that's wild. I was just going through the fucking comments of, like, Critical's video, and apparently there's someone I used to know who might be doing those kinds of things. So I tried to find it on Twitch just now, and I can't for whatever reason. But, like, I don't know if they're talking about somebody else, but it's literally the same gamer tag and everything with the same spelling. That's funny.
Damn, you still use gamer tag.
Well, or like, or, you know, tag, whatever. You know what I mean? Which just wouldn't surprise me because she has like a fucking metric fuck ton of simps because she's like, you know, a woman in the Smash community, you know, and therefore, you know, just has a shit ton of people who, like, you know, follow her because, you know, horny. So that's just no, I just didn't expect to see that there in, like, that comment section. That's fucking bizarre. So a
little out of body experience for yourself.
Definitely had a little out of body experience. I'm like, all right. I mean, if that's power to her, if that's what she's doing nowadays, but whatever.
Championing all these, like, dumbass movements and shit. It's like it is what it is though. Like,
yeah, but she has like a career though. That's weird. I don't know. They're probably talking about somebody else. But because either way, yeah, it's like, I feel like I'll tell you something. A statistic between the ages of, I think, like late 20s, right? Late 20s, and by the time you turn 18, 1 in 4 guys are virgins.
Yep.
Throughout most guys in their 20s. Like, literally, if we had 2 other people in this call, Dennis, 2 other men in this call who are our age, statistically, one of us is a virgin. And we'd have to, like, figure out which one it is in, like, a fucking game of Clue.
I don't want to out them, though, like that. So, I feel bad if I did.
Someone doesn't want to play. Are you scared of something?
You never got your pee-pee touched by a girl before? Like,
yeah, it sounds like you don't want to play this game for some reason, Dennis.
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, you're the only
talking to me? What the fuck you talking to me for? Fuck you.
Yeah, man, it's like, I feel like it just feeds into that. Like I said, Simps and E-Girls can't exist without the other. Without Simps, E-Girls literally do not have a business, and without E-Girls, Simps have to go get their rocks off somewhere else, and God knows the more porn they watch, you know, the deeper and deeper into a rabbit hole of fetishes that they find. Like, you find yourself into more and more disgusting and immoral shit the more you look at, like, the more you look at porn and stuff, man. Like, if you look at, like, we talk about, you know, this very, you know, sexually repressed culture in, like, Japan that we're talking about, how, like, young people aren't having sex over there. You ever read some of that hentai, man? Some of it is, like, Saw-esque, where they'd be like, okay, yeah, you two girls, like, you know, make out with each other, and then you girls shit on the other girl, and then that girl has to eat it. It's like, fucked up stuff like that exists. Tentacle porn, incest porn is, like, that incest porn is fucking growing, dude. And, like, regular porn is trying to, like, normalize it as well. Be like, oh, what are you doing, step bro? Like, all that kind of stuff. Like, they try to mask it. If it wasn't, like, so fucking, like, fucked up for the reasons that it is, I feel like mainstream porn would literally, like, try to do, like, actual, like, I mean, not actual, you know, like, obviously not actual, but I'm talking about, like, actual incest-themed porn, like, no step or anything like that. Like, they would just want to... I know that there are some very famous porn stars who actually have, like, who never, like, did the whole, like, step thing. I know, like, there are porn stars that I've jacked off to before that I looked at some of the other shit and I'm like, okay, whoa, they did this? Okay. Like, that's... There's the more and more kinkier it gets, the more, like, some otaku type of guys fall into that kind of trap, because it's a trap. Like I say, the more and more, not to say that, like, if you can't get your rocks off to porn or whatever, it's bad. Like, do it every now and again, it's fine. But, like, the more you watch of that shit, the worse and more diluted and disillusioned your perspective of actual women is going to be. And the further and further you are away from getting an actual one. Yeah. So, like Dennis said, just love yourself. Please, like, love yourself first. Give yourself a chance.
But again, I'm also going to be going into the other side of this. It's like, if you love yourself and you also love hentai, it's like, all right, well, I got nothing to say to you. It's like, okay. It's like, all right, you know, if you're a guy who is very in touch with himself and, like, you know, loves himself, but you still love hentai, it's like, all right, whatever, fuck it. I don't... Look, as long as you love yourself, it's like, who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit. Like, you know, just do that first, if anything. Is to, like, all the guys who don't do that, love yourself first. and then love hentai.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you love it that much, fuck it. Who cares? Like, it's like same as Filthy Frank said. Like, I think you could even equate his video on Weeaboos, even like, you know, straight up shit like hentai. It's like, you know, okay, like, fuck it. As long as you don't bring that shit to me, it's like, I don't care. It's like, do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even gonna say too, like, you know, for guys, like, and what we look for in girls, like, there's two things, and sometimes they are a bit mutually exclusive, and sometimes you just get them together. It's like, we look for pussy, and we look for a relationship. And strictly speaking, it's like also the dating scene too is also another contributor as to why, like, it's gonna be even harder for, like, you know, let's say if David does have like kids, and like, you know, when I have kids, it's gonna be hard for them, like, even just dating, because like there's gonna be even more eggshells to fucking walk around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just gonna be even fucking more difficult.
I hate being single. I'm not gonna lie to you. I fucking hate being single because I hate dating. I hate, like, all the games and shit that comes with, like, oh, if a guy does this, that means this. Oh, if a girl does this, it means this. Whatever happened to
Why can't they just mean this?
Exactly. Why can't you, like, why can't me saying I think you're cool just mean I think you're cool? Why can't that mean what it means? Like, it's just so fucking stupid, man. Yeah. I hate, like, the whole game of it, and I'm just not. It just blows. I hate those. That's why I like it's. I'm gonna be real. It's why I like older women, because they usually understand themselves better. Obviously,
yeah, they're out of the game.
So they're out of that game, sort of. And more than anything else, man, hot tub streamers, it's okay. Whatever, do your thing.
We don't really, like, personally for me as well. Like, I couldn't give less of a shit how how a bitch makes her money. I don't give a fuck. But it's like, also, you know, like, there's me talking to you guys, like, you know, not that I'm saying that, like, oh, like, you're enabling the shit, but it's like it's like, it's so
it's a very abusive relationship between Simps and Egirls. They're also, enabling each other's bad behavior.
That's their, and I even said it before, like, that's their own ecosystem. Like, and once you're in it, like, for a lot of guys, I'd imagine it's kind of hard to get out of it. And the ones who do, they look back and they go like, oh, yeah, never gonna do that again. Like, because, like, they look at themselves, and it's like that version of themselves that, like, you know, whenever we see, like, a version of ourselves, like, where we cringe internally, remembering that person, it's like, that's the same guy for them. And again, like, you know, we don't really give a fuck about Twitch and what the fuck they're doing over there. We don't really give a fuck how these hot tub streamers are making their money. We really don't care too much. Our main beef is with the hypocrisy, plus with the ever-growing, like, problem that guys are facing. And also for me, it's just like, I hope to God that, like, you know, you guys at least learn to love yourselves before anyone else, really. Because I don't know how many of you guys, let's say, want relationships in the future, or even fuck it, like, want a, like, I don't know, a family and kids. Like, I don't know how many of you guys are out there that want that, but it's like, you know, you ain't really gonna have that without loving yourself first. And it's like, don't be afraid to be a dude. It's like, if a girl has a nice ass, just look at it. Just don't say anything. I'm not saying, like, you know, just, like, openly sexually harass the fucking woman, but it's just like, you know, if you're looking at it, don't fucking say anything.
Yeah.
Just say in your head, like, damn, fuck. And then just, like, after that, just cut it.
Yeah, like no one ever deserves to be shamed for having or showcasing their sexuality. Not these hot tub streamers, and not men either. Or if the men are hot tub streamers, which I can't wait to see how long it takes before a man hot tub streamer is, because they exist. No, there are dude hot tub streamers. They're doing their thing, and as far as I know, I don't think any of them have been banned yet. But, like, I'm just awaiting the day that Twitch decides to throw everything out the window and, like, really, truly prove even further how hypocritical they are and how little they actually give a shit about the people who use their website, by just banning a dude, a hot tub streamer, for sexual content all of a sudden. Oh, he's showing too much of his body or something like that. That bathing suit.
And the guy
they're gonna say, like, it's not a normal. Here's my prediction. They're gonna say it's not a normal bathing suit because they're gonna be wearing, like, a singlet, right? They're gonna say, it's not a normal
like
bathing suit, which is why it's not a normal bathing suit. Like, they have to wear trunks. Like, our pools, hot tub streamers and beaches category specifically states, you know, the swimwear, and this one's used, like, for sexual. I guarantee they're gonna, like, try to use, like, some fucking, like,
they're gonna cherry pick
like that.
Yeah. Like, I could see that too. And also, like, for a lot of guys, it's like, because here's the thing, because we're such shitlords that we would be like, guys would be doing hot tub streaming just to take the piss out of like the fact that women are doing it, because we make fun of their shit all the time. We made fun of the feminist movement ever since it even became a thing. We have memed it to death, and we've literally denounced it every single chance we've gotten ever since it even became a thing again. And for this, it's like, this is going to be another thing we're going to meme on, because that's what we fucking do.
Hot tub streamers?
Yeah, because I could see, like, you know, even big name guys. Like, can you not imagine Tyler One doing a fucking hot tub stream just to take the piss?
Right.
Like, or anyone else. Like, I mean, Tyler One actually is a pretty decent guy. Like, I just off stream, he's actually pretty decent. Like, he's a pretty good guy. But on stream, he's just like, that's his persona. He just yells and curses and wishes his wrath on motherfuckers, like, on League of Legends, because, like, that's his persona online. Everyone knows him as that bald, short, loud motherfucker, like, online. That's just his persona. That's what he's known as. And yeah, like, I'm just like, because, you know, everyone makes fun of everything. Everything's a meme until it's not. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna make fun of this too. Like, everyone already makes fun of Twitch anyways. I've seen plenty of memes about how Twitch is literally run by simps fucking everywhere. And, like, you know, it's like, literally, we meme everything. And this is just going to be another thing we do too. A little bit, this whole thing that I'm going off of is just a little off topic, but, like, you know, this is just going to be another thing where it's going to be so normalized that literally we're just going to make fun of it until we don't make fun of it anymore. Like, we've even made 9/11 jokes. Like, us as a society, like, we literally make fun of everything. Like, it's like nothing is safe or sacred for the most part. And I personally love that. And I also do see the downsides to it, because it's like, you know, some things maybe shouldn't be touched, but at the same time, if you could make a good joke out of it, it's like, all right, well, good for you. Like, making a decent Holocaust joke. Like, I don't know how many people were making Holocaust jokes after 1945, but it's like, I bet you one guy probably did. And there was one dude who probably was fucked up. Maybe he was even probably a Nazi, but he probably laughed. And, like, and it just continued on more and more over the years. 9/11 still considered like our Pearl Harbor in modern day, and everyone makes fun of 9/11.
Yeah,
everyone fucking jokes about it to death, and that's obviously much more significant than fucking.
I'd say the internet does, but not like you usually don't find too many people on the street that will actually.
No, dude, I've seen and heard people say some vile shit, and I've been to New York enough where everyone's like, "Yeah, man, I missed the like World Trade Center, but." Man, I also do love looking at the sky and not seeing that ugly ass building, because no one, like, truth be told, the Twin Towers wasn't exactly the most prettiest building out there, like, or buildings out there. Like, I still think the Empire State Building, if we're going to be talking about buildings being sexy, Empire State's still pretty the hottest building out there, like, in my personal opinion. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think the Twin Towers were like just the sort of 6 out of 10 twins that you kind of know, and one of them wants to fuck. Yeah, like, you know, like one of them wants to fuck you, but you don't want to fuck any of them.
For buildings.
Yeah, and then, like, you know, something terrible happened and they're gone, and like everyone's like, oh, it's so sad, and then no one really cares anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm talking about the building, not the people lost in it, all right? Like, calm down over there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, again, we just make fun of everything.
Yeah.
We really do.
And we're going to make fun of this too. We got a whole fucking, like, you know, the whole hour to an hour plus of content about it, man. It's like, just no matter how you fucking, like, spin it, it is sexual content. And, like, the only thing nothing would matter. Like, this whole debate would not, or the whole debate or whole discussion would mean absolutely dick if Twitch was completely okay with allowing sexual content
or if they just said it is
platform. If they said, okay, sexual content is allowed here, then fine, no fucking problem. But instead, they're trying to spin this, saying it's not sexual content when it blatantly is, but then they're banning other streamers for sexual content for fucking minor offenses or shit that isn't even their fault, like humping a statue, like happened with Mango, or the other dude who had like a horse cock sent to him, and it was fucking he got banned for a month for it. It's like, on one end it's good that, like, you say, like, oh, you, like, we're not gonna ban somebody just because you find them sexy, because there are a lot of women streamers who aren't like fucking like hot tub streamers or e-girls or anything like that of that nature, you know, who, like, you know, it's just not fair for them to, like, get objectified in that kind of sense, and no one deserves to be objectified, even if, like, you know, they're doing something like fucking, you know, sexual content like a hot tub stream. But that's the thing. Just, one or the other. Either say you're okay with sexual content on your platform, or say it's not okay. Don't only like pick and choose, cherry pick what you want to see here and say, oh, but this isn't technically sexual content because because if you find them sexy, like that's not technically what makes it sexual, even though they're literally shaking their ass and showing their fucking cervix to the camera. It's like, no. You're just, it's like the same thing with them just picking and choosing and cherry picking their favorites because they don't give a shit about, like, you know, what's fair or what's not fair. All they care about, you know, is they actually address this because, you know, their advertisers were pulling out.
Pulling the fuck out. Like, out by the probably tens of dozens, if anything.
Which is also the reason I think that Twitch is afraid to admit it's sexual content, because as soon as they do, they're admitting they're okay with sexual content on their platform, and that in and of itself would drive advertisers away. So...
But that's like, again, guys, like this is also like, I think I speak for David when I say like our main beef with Twitch, like I don't really give a fuck.
We do not have a problem with the fucking women doing the streams like that.
Yeah, like Twitch, if they were like
you're kind of an incel if you have a problem, you know, with them like actually doing it. You're also kind of an incel if you watch them, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Like our beef with Twitch is that like just the hypocrisy.
Yes.
Like I hate the bullshit that companies do all the fucking time with this type of shit. I hate it because I hate how companies just they just love to portray themselves as like, we love our family. It's like, you don't give a fuck. It's a numbers game for you. That's your bottom line. At the end of the day, I want more companies to just start coming out and saying like, we don't give a fuck about our workers. I want companies like that. You know why? Because then at least I'll know like, oh, wow. Like I'll at least admire that because I know that's them telling the truth. That's the truth that we all know about companies. We know they don't give a fuck. Pharmaceuticals? Yeah, we give you life-giving drugs, but we're also going to break your wallet for it. Mm-hmm. I would love pharmaceutical companies to tell me that, because then I would have to stop thinking that, like, you know, or people would stop thinking that, oh yeah, they care about me. Because like people keep fucking thinking that they care about you. Like companies, like they don't give a fuck about you. I want companies to come out and say like, our bottom line is money. Like, that's Mr. Krabs in a nutshell. Like, at least Mr. Krabs, forgive him all the shit that, you know, you can give him. Because, like, you know, he was an asshole. A piece of shit, really. But, like, Mr. Krabs at least was honest. Right off the bat. Like, he just said, like, I don't give a fuck about any of you. I want money.
Why did you build a second Krusty Krab right next to the original?
Money. Yeah, like, that's, like, honesty right there. Like, I want more companies like that. I don't think that's really like
you know, Mr. Krabs is like the kind of guy who like
dates
he dates women for their bodies, but he's honest about it. You know, he doesn't like lecture them or some shit or try to come off like an intellectual or like, you know, talk about like their high school days or where they fucking peaked or anything like that.
It's like
he straight up tells them like,
here, because I want to fuck you.
Exactly.
Like that's it.
Like he's not
I'm
like,
not here
pretending
to
be something he's not. It's
like it's like what I wish I could see more companies doing. Like, I want companies to say that they don't give a fuck about their employees. I really do. Because I know for a fact that's not going to stop people from joining them. Because people still, at the end of the day, need money to live. They need a job. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying, like, you know, for companies, like, they just should stop with this bullshit saying that, like, oh, we love our company family. It's like, you don't give a flying fuck if they died. Like, you don't give a shit. Even Nintendo, too. Stop saying... Like, Nintendo's probably guilty of that, too.
I mean,
it's like, we love our Nintendo
Nintendo's
family.
guilty of so much fucking shit, you know? Like,
talking
about,
it's like,
oh,
we love our employees. It's like, you don't give a fuck.
Talk about, like, brand protection and whatnot. Meanwhile, like, you know, you literally stopped an online tournament from happening during
we love our
fucking
fans.
COVID. During fucking COVID. Because of some arbitrary reason. And now everybody all of a sudden hates you. Like, really, you really care about your fucking brand protection.
And when I said all that stuff, I'm not saying that they should say that in their company language, because we all know how companies and businesses talk, right? They always do these euphemisms with certain words. I want them to say straight up, flat out, we don't care about our employees. Just fucking say it already. Rockefeller probably even said it plenty of times to his own people. And like all these other like robber barons even back in the day. They probably all said it. Because they also didn't give a fuck.
There was less risk for him because there was no major media. Back then, there was just literally newspapers, and that was it.
But I feel as if even if he did say it, is that going to stop the millions coming into him? All those guys living in Durham around that time, like they couldn't give less of a fuck about their employees, other than the fact that you came in early or you came in on time and you worked and you clocked out. That was all they cared about. Because people at the end of the day were how people or companies view employees now, where they're nothing but just a number on an Excel spreadsheet. They're not exactly like people aren't seen as people in businesses nowadays.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I'm saying, like, just stop pretending, man.
I'm saying that was just about to say that. Just stop fucking pretending to protect your fucking image. I'm so sick of, because those lies impact culture. That's the thing. I was going through Twitter, like on Rod Bressler's comments, and there are people literally defending it, saying hot tub streams are not sexual content. You're just interpreting it that way. Oh my god! That shit impacts actual people. People literally do believe those companies' lies, who are saying that shit that is lies only to protect their image and only to do something that actually benefits them. It's not the truth, but that shit impacts people's actual beliefs, which impacts culture, which impacts again stuff like the dating pool, which just repeats the cycle of incels in and of itself. It's that kind of stuff that just creates more problems in that regard. And people say oh, you just got to hold men accountable for that. And that's true. But this is a clear-cut example of when you need to hold a fucking company accountable. You remember what Pornhub did about a year ago or a couple of months ago?
Didn't they kind of slash a lot of accounts because they were these were unverified accounts?
They
right?
deleted every account off of their website that was unverified in response to investigators cracking down on Pornhub because they had actual fucking child porn on there, sex trafficking as well, videos of sex trafficking of people who have been kidnapped that was just uploaded and allowed on the platform, millions upon millions upon millions of videos. They said a human being cannot possibly moderate all that shit. There's no way we could do that. And that is actually kind of true. So instead of just going through that kind of stuff and actually cracking down, you need to have a verified account to upload on Pornhub now, and they deleted literally every single fucking unverified account, millions upon millions upon millions of videos off of the platform like that. Again, just to save their image. You think these companies fucking care? They let child porn on their platform. They don't care. Twitch is not your friend, so never fall for that stupid fucking, it's Pride Month, so we're highlighting our LGBT streamer. They don't give a fuck about you or your fucking community. Grow the fuck up. They're a fucking company. Grow the fuck up.
And again, we're saying,
my God, dude.
I'm saying this righteously too. There is just the level of dishonesty from companies just gotten worse over the years. It's guys like Carnegie and shit, they didn't have to say it because everyone knew they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but were you allowed to? Back then, you were allowed to critique Carnegie or anything like that. You would lose your job or something like that, but people would still care about you. If you say anything against Twitch doing anything with the fucking hot tub streamers, people will call you riding on your high horse, moral high horse, throwing your Bible around at these hot tub streamers. It's you're against Twitch doing one thing means you're suddenly against women. There are people who actually fucking think that, and I feel bad for women who feel they're pressured into doing stuff like hot tub streams. Because feel maybe they feel they can't compete in that kind of marketplace, which you can't complain about hot tub streamers you losing they're taking views away from your favorite streamer. No, that's not the case. Those incels aren't going to watch your favorite streamer just because those hot tub streamers don't exist. Trust me, they will go somewhere else at that point. But that's the thing. It's I feel it gets to the point where you can't fucking critique anymore because people will think you're hive-minding or you're against women all of a sudden because of this kind of stuff. It's fuck that. It's you're talking about Carnegie here, but you were allowed to at least critique Carnegie behind closed doors back then, were you not? Right? You weren't a fucking cultural pariah in the gaming sphere because of that shit.
But that's why I'm saying though, but that's why I'm saying Carnegie never really was dishonest with himself though. He straight up told it how it is. I am an American industrialist.
Yeah.
And I will fuck over
everything.
I literally own this country.
Your genitals.
I could buy the Senate if I wanted to. And he probably did.
Carnegie needs more money.
He probably paid off a bunch of those guys.
Carnegie wants to buy the sun.
But that's why Carnegie also compared to let's say CEOs now, everyone has to tiptoe over shit. And I just wish CEOs could just be people who they are. Just fucking assholes.
In the age of the internet though, dude, I don't know.
But it's no one really nothing would stop people.
I stopped eating at Chick-fil-A.
It won't stop people from still buying products though. If Chipotle came out and straight up, because that they're having some trouble over there in the city, right? In New York
with employees,
they have if they just straight up said, we don't give a fuck about employees, it would not stop me from eating from Chipotle. I'm sorry, but it's at least because I do love their food, but at the same time it's you guys have to I wish I could talk to some CEOs. If I was ever that high up in the fucking pecking order, I would love to just say why don't you just say you're an asshole? Just say it. Just say it on TV. Who gives a fuck? It's not gonna stop people from buying your shit. And not to mention Amazon's already bought MJM. It's not gonna stop them from buying other fucking companies. It's at the end of the day, their bottom line is still gonna be strong. They're still gonna make money. So why not just be honest with yourselves, especially with Twitch? It's like, just say you're a fucking simp. Everyone's fucking seeing it. Everyone's seeing it.
Like, I swear to God, people defending that shit, it's like, makes me so sad. It really makes me so fucking sad. And I know who else it makes sad, and I know who else it doesn't make sad. Trust me, I pick and choose the people I trust very carefully. Don't think about it like that, but like, fucking, I really, really wish that this wasn't the same website that had the entire esports industry by the fucking prostate. Because it does. Like, no one's ever gonna pack up and just move to another platform and everybody just goes to leave Twitch. I was so excited back in the day last year when Ninja announced that he was like gonna stream exclusively on Mixer. I thought, like, he's the biggest one. Like, that's actually like influential. Like, he could possibly like get other streamers to do that. Meanwhile, the whole time he was doing it to just like play Microsoft and Twitch for fools, so like they could like lock them into a contract where they have to pay him a shit ton of money for the exclusive streaming rights to Ninja. He walked away like with so much fucking money off of those deals. I'm not even sure if he can spend it all before he's like fucking 70. But it makes me sad that like it's like they have the esports industry by the ball, so we have to literally keep supporting this fucking horrible platform
until another platform comes up.
It's never
and it could happen.
Never gonna happen.
But I think it could happen, but it's gonna be just a very long
Microsoft
time.
tried. One of the biggest companies in the world tried in Microsoft. Didn't happen. YouTube didn't happen yet because they don't care about like their actual streaming UI. Dude, it's not happening. Twitch's
code is also
stay.
pretty dog shit. Like, their video player is such dog shit.
know.
Like, only goes up to 720p.
I know.
And can't even crack 1080. I think I also heard it's because of like just the file size issue. Like, it's just like 1080p is obviously just much more bigger than 720. Therefore, like, their videos, like, thing, if they did start streaming them and also like saving them as VODs like in 1080, it would basically like be working the servers on overtime like every single time because it's just such big ass files. I mean, to the credit on the server side of things, if that is the case, like, okay, fine, like, like, got to be pragmatic, got to like, make cuts when we have to.
Yeah.
But it's also just like, Twitch, like your website that's been around for some couple fucking years, it's still pretty dog shit
guys,
compared to like.
Just remember that all those questions that, like, if you're a content creator on Twitch, all those questions that you had for them about hot tub streamers, all that questions you had about, like, certain people getting banned for sexual content, but these types of sexual content streams are allowed for whatever reason, just know all those questions you had didn't mean dick. They didn't care to answer them. They only officially answered them, like, the literal next day. The literal next day that advertisers started pulling out. They did all that shit in, like, a day. Like making the category for pools and hot tub streamers and shit. This isn't something they've been working on. Like, they did this recently. Like, they don't care about you, man. Don't make Twitch part of your fucking identity. Like, it's just literally the platform
Twitch
that we're unfortunately fucking forced to use because, like, no company, no one is ever going to be able to surpass them as far as, like, a live streaming service goes. I mean, everybody uses them. Didn't, like, fucking Bo Jiden use it, like, for his presidential addresses now? Like, doesn't Bo Jiden use it now?
I don't know if old Joe uses
fucking
it.
AOC. Obo.
Oh, yeah.
Obo, say it right.
Obo.
Bo Jiden.
I say Joe Blow.
Bo Jiden. It's so catchy. Bo Jiden is just catchier. I like it better.
I always just, like, make fun of him the same way, like, construction workers make fun of each other. It's just like, yeah, old Joe, like, slow Joe. Like, it's like all these, like...
Slow go pogo Joe.
It's like... about to die, Joe. Got 2 weeks to live, Joe.
AOC streamed on Twitch, man.
Yeah, and she almost crashed the fucking place.
Yeah. It's so funny, too, like, because, Toby Tanaka also streams on Twitch, and it's so funny. She's not a titty streamer, and I feel like she would literally have a hard time not being a titty streamer for the sole reason that her breasts are so fucking huge that they would just so be weird in the camera.
Like, the reverse situation of that. It's like, I'm trying not to be, and it's so hard not to be.
She embraces the fact that she's a porn star, man. She's not hiding it. She's not hiding under the gauze of, like, like, I'm just a streamer out here having fun or nothing. And also, you can admit to being a softcore porn star, which a lot of the hot tub streamers do. Like, they're honest with themselves. Some of them are, some of them aren't. It's that's one thing in and of itself. So that doesn't matter as much at the end of the day. It's just, honesty is the best policy. And there's such a lack of honesty all around when it comes to Twitch and their stupid little shitty fucking games that they play. I'm never going to go back to live streaming, but if I ever did, I'm streaming on YouTube 1,000% for.
I'd probably just
a lot of
curse out
reasons.
Twitch. I'd probably just curse out Twitch if I streamed on Twitch. Like, Twitch, you're fucking stupid.
I'm sorry,
Like, every single hour, I would just say something mean about Twitch.
Any website that equates the word simp to racial slurs, saying you're not allowed to say those on the platform.
It's pretty smooth brained.
Yeah, there's
for
something
sure.
up there, all right? There's
Yeah.
a pretty smooth brained. I wish we didn't have to support Twitch, but unfortunately, it's not going anywhere. So,
Fuck Twitch,
fucking
though.
blows. I hate that shit.
And again, if you're an asshole, being honest with yourself. Please to God. Stop being dishonest. Just fucking say it, all right?
Mother of God. And please just go, like, there are real women in the world. Just at least try.
Yeah.
At least try.
And also just be honest with yourself with what you want out of them. Because again, it's either pussy or a relationship.
It's like, women have brains, dude.
Yeah.
You can talk to them. You can have like relationships with them as like, you know, like friends and people. It's a pretty cool thing, dude. It's like, yeah, it's just like, wow, you're just like the penis people without the penis. Amazing. It's like
What a
dude,
concept.
They just like like, dude, it's like, you know, Twitch claims to be like this whole like progressive like entity here for like allowing these streamers, yet they don't understand that, you know, like they're literally promoting guys getting their fucking rocks off to women like from the virtual comfort of behind their little screens and whatnot, getting further and further away from actual women. Once again, another group of people who don't even realize they're making the problem worse. And yeah, whatever, hold guys accountable if they're like, you know, objectifying non-e-girl streamers or even e-girl streamers, whatever, but literally it's like, I don't know how much more proof needs to be like in the fucking pudding that the website is ran by fucking incels. It clearly is. It clearly fucking
and
is.
Simps.
And or Simps.
Mm.
Well,
Sometimes they're mutually exclusive, but you know, whatever.
Yep.
I think we've been on that topic for
I think we've exhausted
far
this.
too long.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted this quite enough today. It's just, forgive me, I felt so off at the beginning of the podcast, you know, like, because we at the Double D Experience like to have just enough structure to support our lack of structure, and this is the kind of topic where I felt like I should have taken some notes beforehand. I'm being kind of honest here. Like, we have a note board, we never use it. It's just to remember certain topics if we ever want to talk about them. But like, I felt like
I would love to put this on a screenshot and put it up on Twitter. Like, just like this is the backlog of shit that we'd want to talk about and we've never got to.
we could do that. Put it on. It'll be fun. If you want, but
As a Cuban, I hate Cubans.
oh hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah, bro! I'm allowed to say that shit. All right, you people don't even know the half of it. But I think we're done here for the day, ain't we? So
Plug in that Rise. Ooh.
oh, there it is, ladies and boys. Rise Cold Brew. Rise Cold Brew, nitrogenated organic cold brew coffee. Comes in a variety of flavors, including oat milk vanilla that just dropped. Pretty awesome stuff there, as well as oat milk, and comes in original vanilla and chocolate flavors. You can use discount code Nintoonist with the special referral link down below to get 10% off of your order today and have a proceed of that sale go directly to supporting the Double D Experience podcast. So if you want a good way to support the podcast, as well as getting some amazing drinks and tasty, healthy ones as well for you, there's no better place to do it. Rise Cold Brew, the Rise Natural Brewing Company, link in the description down below. And you do have to use that link specifically for the discount code to work, otherwise it will not work. So, yeah, pretty much good with that on our plug. I'll be representing Rise at a Brooklyn Food Bazaar next week. It'll be fun.
Ooh.
If in case anybody lives in that area, wants to say hi, do their thing, get some,
And fondle
purchase
my
some.
nuts.
No, don't do that. Don't actually.
Do it with his consent, obviously. You know, you always need consent.
Don't tell strangers on the internet that they can fondle my nuts, Dennis. Don't do that. All right, that's not even.
It's like I go and say like, oh, you could fondle my nuts, and then I don't even show up, and they're just like they're looking at you. Can I fondle your?
Look,
He's
that's
like,
like
no.
saying you can like fucking like touch touch a hot tub streamer's ass if you see her in public just because. Hey, I saw you on the screen. Like, no,
I'm entitled to a pussy touch.
Is my name still there?
I want to tap your pussy.
I want to read it. I want to read my name. Is it still there? Like, they don't wash that shit off. Like, they're in water. It's gonna wash off. Okay, whatever. We're done. Dennis, where can they follow us?
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, not Facebook, because Facebook is gay. We also have many of our other podcast handles, like on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Your Mom's Podcast, and YouTube. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're pretty much done here. Hope you enjoyed this very Hope you enjoyed this very fun and unstructured conversation of what two two cis straight dudes think about women streaming on a fucking platform in hot tubs and bikinis. The opinions that truly matter the most out here in these streets. We're done, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis, do the honors.
Lights off, and don't be a simp. Later.
If you're a simp, I hate you. Real talk.
Fuck
Fuck you.
Fuck you. You should cut your nuts off, but also work on yourself. Too.
I mean, there's nothing to cut off if they're simps already.
That is true. Your ball is already in her. Your ball is already in her purse. So,
all right.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right.
Lights were dimmed. Lights are now off.
Fuck you,
Goodbye,
bitch.